Serious question about LinkedIn. Has anyone ever actually gotten a job on there? Because I never have, and I don't know anyone who has. That's what it's supposed to be for, right? It's a place to network, find a job, and advance your career. But that's not really what it is these days. It's like some weird combination of Facebook, Indeed, and X, and it really embraces the worst part of all of those platforms. I have a LinkedIn account that I made years ago because I thought that's just something you needed to do when you were looking for a job, but I haven't touched it since, so when I went on there, I was surprised to see there's people actually using it.
It's crazy. People use LinkedIn?
No.
Now, I'm not going to show you mine because that's a lot of personal information on there and connections, but it's basically just filled with people whose whole identity is their job. Like, they don't have a life outside of work, you know the type, like business bros, basically, those hustle culture people. There's a subreddit called LinkedIn Lunatics, which is kind of what led me to look into this whole bizarre social experiment that is LinkedIn, and it really highlights just how insane this platform is. Here's the typical post you'll see on the site. So I'm on my return flight home from Barcelona, Spain, where I was delivering an international sales seminar. And guess what? Almost everyone in the plane has lights out and movies on. An 8-hour flight to watch movies or focus on performance improvement. About 80% choose movies over momentum. Instead of a movie, about 20% are choosing to think on paper, read a book, or focus on strategy. Whether you're flying on an airplane or just riding the plane of life. If you want to improve your life in sales, choose momentum, lights on, not the movies, lights out. Riding the plane of life. Like, shut the hell up, dude. That's so cringe. This guy just sounds insufferable, but I bet he doesn't even own a TV, but then he goes around and brags about it at parties like it's some sort of achievement. He's the type to take pride in not watching the thing that's popular at the moment. This guy needs to learn how to chill and take a moment to relax. Like, I understand that feeling when you're not doing anything and you feel like you're not being productive, but an airplane is like the one place in the world where I never feel like that. I just never have the urge to do anything productive on a plane. It's like your one opportunity in life to just do nothing at all. You could just sit there and stare at the back of the seat in front of you the whole time. It's fine. It's a plane. No one cares. Except this guy, I guess. Also, you say you're on a flight home from Barcelona, Spain. A lot of these people are probably on vacation. Just let them have this like one last moment of peace before they have to get back to work or school or whatever. It's not a big deal. Maybe it makes me a beta male, but at the end of a vacation on the flight home, I don't have the brain capacity to do anything. I'm just gonna sit there and rot for 8 hours straight. I don't care. Someone in the Reddit comments pointed out that this a-hole had the flash on too when he took this picture. What an absolute idiot. I don't know how this is connected, but I feel like the people who are watching movies on their flight home are also the people to know to turn their flash off when taking pictures in a dark, crowded plane when people are probably sleeping. I don't know what the connection is there, but it's just something I believe. I don't know if that makes sense, but in my mind it does. This one just got me laughing so hard. I proposed to my girlfriend this weekend. Here's what it taught me about business-to-business sales. If my partner made this post right after we got engaged, I think I would call the whole damn wedding off. Like, that's a deal breaker for me.
Wedding's off, and this is what I'm like now.
Here's another post from the LinkedIn Lunatics subreddit talking about this guy who went homeless to prove that anyone could make $1 million in a year. Look at this guy. He's a millionaire who went homeless as a social experiment. His goal, prove that anyone can make $1 million in 12 months with just a phone. The story of Mike Black and what happened next. In 2020, Mike Black made a bold move. He drained his bank accounts to zero, left his 7-figure business, and went homeless. All to prove that anyone can come back from rock bottom and inspire others. He publicly committed to the challenge. The early days tested Mike's resolve. He slept on benches, battling hunger and doubt. But he knew that this was bigger than him. It was about showing others what's possible. Failure wasn't an option. Mike had to find a way no matter how hard it got. A turning point came when a stranger on Craigslist let Mike crash in his RV. It wasn't much, but it gave Mike a chance to regroup and strategize his next move. He used the small window of opportunity to plan his comeback, and he wasted no time. He got resourceful. He started flipping free items from Craigslist, acting as the middleman for profit. Every dollar went straight to survival. He stacked odd jobs on top, telemarketing, assistant work, delivery. Brick by brick, he was making his comeback, or so he thought. Mike zeroed in on creating a scalable e-commerce biz. Not just any biz, but one with heart. He launched a coffee brand for dog lovers that donated proceeds to animal rescues. Still, he had to juggle this with marketing clients and documenting his journey. Sleep became a luxury. To fund his venture, Mike made bold sacrifices. He rented out his room and lived for free. Every extra dollar went straight into the business. He was all in, no plan B. Finally, he launched the brand. The machine was in motion, but then a devastating blow. Mike's dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. His world shattered. He dropped everything to be with his family, but he knew his dad would want to keep him going. So he dug deep, channeled his pain into purpose, and kept building. Failure was not an option. Back at it with renewed focus, Mike went full throttle. He implemented subscription model for recurring revenue. He commissioned viral videos to spread the word. Some days, he woke up to hundreds of new orders. This was it. Momentum was building. Then, another crushing setback. 2 severe autoimmune diseases and a tumor left Mike in daily agony. He was running on fumes, barely able to function. Doubt crept in. Could he really keep going? That's when a message changed everything. A stranger reached out, saying Mike's story stopped him from ending his life. At that moment, it clicked. This wasn't about hitting $1 million. This was about inspiring others and showing them what's possible. Mike couldn't stop now. Too many people were counting on him. Still, Mike had to cut things short. He made $65,000, a far cry from $1 million, but still a massive feat for someone who started from zero. True achievement? Building a viable business in weeks, overcoming shitty odds, touching lives. Money comes and goes, but impact lasts forever. This story perfectly encapsulates the stupidity that is hustle culture. Rich people are always so certain that it's purely out of their hard work that they got to where they are, and they can't stop for a second to think that maybe a little bit of luck played into, and maybe they were just born in a situation where they were able to do that. This guy basically proved the opposite of what he set out to do. Even with a lot of help, he only ended up making $65,000 in that year. Apparently, it's also not accounting business expenses, so it turned out to be about $32,000 in a year. So basically, he proved you can go from no job to a job in a year. He was never even without a home. He had someone loan him an RV, luckily, just by chance. He had a phone from the beginning, and his whole story is just kind of sus. He said he started making money by flipping free couches on Facebook Marketplace, but how does that make sense? If you don't have a car and the ability to move these couches around, how are you making money off them? I think this story is flawed from the get-go. The whole experiment was flawed right from the start. Like, yeah, you can take away all his money, but you still have all those experiences, his education, his skills, which you can't really compare that to someone who actually has nothing. There do seem to be at least some self-aware people on LinkedIn, like this one here. I just turned 30 and I'm worth $19 million. Here's how I got there, not to brag, but to hopefully inspire you to get there too. I woke up at 4 a.m. every morning for 6 years straight, started a recruitment agency, took 2 cold showers per day, invested in Bitcoin at $59,000, engaged with all walks of life, you never know what you'll learn, inherited $22 million from my parents. Post high-value content on LinkedIn. Consistency is key. Execute, execute, execute. If I can do it, you can do it too. Make sure to follow me for more financial advice. That's the real trick to most of these multi-millionaires. Almost all of them had rich parents too. There's your life hack. Be born rich. Here's the kind of top tier financial advice you'll get on LinkedIn. If you were to buy a $1 million home, you would have to put $200,000 down, take on a mortgage of $5,600, pay another $1,000 in property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, a grand total of $6,600 per month. Or you could just rent an identical house for $3,900. How much you want to bet this guy owns multiple homes and they're all for rent? If you know my channel, you know why I love AI garbage on Facebook, and of course it's made its way over to LinkedIn. I can't tell if it's supposed to be Nick Cage or Jesus, but if you think about it, aren't they really the same people? Like, praise our Lord and Savior Nicolas Cage. Hey, but at least you get some wonderful interviewing advice here if you are looking for a job. 22 candidates interviewed, and not one of them was the right fit. My team just got started on an SDR search with a client who had interviewed 22 candidates, 0 hires. The biggest reason they passed on each of them? Candidates were only asking about paid time off and work from home policies. Facepalm emoji. Yeah, don't ask about your pay or holidays or literally if you have to travel to work or not. Just take the job and figure that out after. What a ridiculous thing to say. Like, that's just insane to me. How could you expect someone to not ask if they have to go to work? Or like, I don't know, man. It's breaking my brain. I can't handle these people. These people are just delusional. They don't want employees. They just want servants who will do literally anything they ask and never question anything. So of course they're never going to find any good employee because the good employees are going to places where that's acceptable and they're allowed to ask questions. These people need to get off LinkedIn once in a while and look at the real world. Was out yesterday and grabbing food when I went into a location because the drive-thru was packed and not moving. Inside, I saw people hustling and working to get orders out. A woman said, "Be right with you," after greeting me. She came over, and as she did, a baby was crying in a stroller parked next to the register. She said, "Shh, it's okay," then asked if she could help me. She then told me she was actually on maternity leave, but came in to help the staff on Mother's Day. because they were swamped. I was so impressed by her care and determination, but that's not the whole story. After I ordered and I was waiting, I asked her how old her toddler was. She points to the one I saw crying and says, she's 2, but this one is 2 days old. She had a newborn in the car seat covered up with the stroller. She had a child 2 days before, and instead of complaining or doom scrolling on her phone, she made the choice to come in and help the team on Mother's Day. This type of grit, determination, care, and drive is inspiring. My wife and I were completely floored. As someone who has 3 kiddos and who was raised by a single mom, I was nearly brought to tears. I asked her if she owned the business, and she said no. I said, you should. I hope this inspires you in whatever situation you are in to keep going. Don't give up. Don't give in. Keep going. You're seen. Yeah, I feel like this is not real. This did not happen. This is just some fairy tale that this CEO made up to tell his employees so they can try to feel motivated or something, I suppose. Like, look, even this woman with a 2-day-old baby could make her way to work, so don't give me excuses about being sick. This was made up just to shame their employees. You really outed yourself when you said the woman wasn't even the owner of the coffee shop. That would be the one thing that could possibly make sense if she did own the place. But you expect just an employee to show up 2 days after giving birth just to help out serve coffee? Like, nah. They're probably still high on their epidural and you want them serving coffee. God, this site is really full of high quality content. But hey, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I just don't have that hustle in me. I like to watch movies. I like to relax once in a while. So what? Actually, I think I'm just gonna go watch a movie right now. So I think that'll be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.